Man, what's going on with y'all, man? It's yours truly, Mac Juice, man. Venting with gang, you dig? I ain't been on here in a minute, but hey, man, I got a little time. We at work cooling, so, um, man, we gonna get into it, man. No, lately I've been like for the past 3 months, working and stuff, working long shifts and stuff like that. You know, uh, you really get to see like the unproductive benefits of fitness when it comes to like sleep and nutrition and emotional eating. So today's video gonna be like the opposite side of the dangers I'm not gonna say dangerous, that's probably too much a strong word, but like the negative side of we're gonna put it like that, the negative side effects of fitness. So number one, sleep. Like I just mentioned, man, I've been working long shifts, and it's been something that I've been having to deal with often. Not as often, but often. And I'm usually trying to, correct that. Where I'm just working my 8. I call it, man, working my 8 and escape. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't working on long shifts. But the negative impacts that it has on your fitness goals is, not getting enough sleep, man. I got insomnia, so sometimes I be up longer than most. So I be having to take like some tea, some caramel tea, some ashwagandha to mellow me out, or maybe some melatonin at times. You dig what I'm saying? And had a little something on my lips, sunflower seeds, but yeah, though. So like the negative side effects are like when you trying to be dialed in your fitness goals and with your nutrition, when you working a long shift, it's really like mental, but it also depends on your nutrition and your sleep. Like I said, your recovery and your sleep process, your sleep is number one. So man, if you could get to 6 to 8 hours of sleep, preferably, I said that wrong. Preferably, 7 to 8 hours. That's an idea. But yeah, 6 to 8 hours. 6 to 8 hours. That's cool. But like, man, if you ain't getting enough sleep, you might be running on 4. That's gonna be a negative side effect because your body needs to recover. Another thing I want to talk about. So besides the not getting enough sleep, you want to get your nutrition down packed, and it's hard. That's why you really gotta like lock in your nutrition. So lately, and what I've been doing, and which I had to like really just come to grips with, is really prioritizing fiber and protein. Your vegetables, your fruit, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm real big on fruit smoothies, particularly berries. Berries that got a lot of fiber. Berries have a lot of fiber, which is your blueberry, your raspberry, your blueberries, your raspberry, your strawberries, you know what I'm saying? Got a lot of fiber in it, so it's good. And I always tend to have that every day, non-negotiable, every day. Take some frozen fruit, put it in the blender, mix it with some water, bam, there we go. No, I ain't added nothing, so I really been doing that. I be doing wonders. So prioritizing out that with protein and yeah. So sometimes depending on what you eating, but sometimes, like I said, it's like a domino effect. If you're not getting enough sleep, then it tends you to binge eating, emotionally eating. I mean, it's been times I done been working 12-hour shifts. I want to go to sleep, or you could just be bored. You know what I'm saying? That's why you really got to stay productive. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn what you doing. Crossword puzzles, drawing, listening to some music. You know what I'm saying? To get your mood, to get your thought away from food. Emotional binge eating and emotional eating is real. And I don't think people understand that too often or too much, you know. uh, so we covered the sleep, we covered the nutrition, the binge eating, emotional eating, which is real. What's another one? Let me see. Those are the real two that I really struggle with. In the past, I really gotten under the control. Like I said, especially working long shifts, or maybe sometimes you be a little bit impatient, so you be like, man, I'm about to eat whatever in the crib, but don't yeah. Yeah, really being like when you not getting enough sleep, like I said, it's a domino effect. What else is a negative downside of fitness that don't nobody really talk about? It's okay. Here we go, another one. Like, you want to kill the sugar. You want to kill the sugar, man. It's okay to treat yourself, once a week. You know what I'm saying? If you want to do it like that, but if you're gonna do like a sugar, like something sweet, substitute it for like a protein snack where it still got protein in it, but it's not made with like cane sugar. Maybe have like a sugar alcohol or something like that, where you look on the back, it's something called like ethanol or something like that, where it's a alternative substitute to sugar. You know what I'm saying? It's like a sweetener. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not just cane sugar. So yeah, maybe like a protein snack. If I have one, I'll be able to show y'all. But Quest got some the brand Quest, they got some good protein snacks, but really trying to eliminate that sugar. Drinking, I really ain't been drinking as much. Alcohol, that's a big one for a lot of people, because a lot of people, on the weekends, they go out, they want to socialize and stuff like that. I get it. I've been there and done that. The last time I probably think I had a drink was probably like the 4th of July. And anything before the 4th of July was like, I went cold turkey on it, because you can't be drinking and trying to lose weight. That's just not gonna work. It's just not gonna work, man. Maybe a beer, two, and just, man. But if you one shot, and you gotta know yourself too. That's another thing. You gotta know yourself. Because I know how I get. I take one shot, from whatever I'm sipping, and just next thing you know, shit, I done dumped the whole goddamn bottle. Now I'm eating, you know what I'm saying? I'm hungry, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, that's the only problem I ever had throughout my whole life when it came to drinking. Like, really just, overeat when I want some food, you know what I'm saying? So that's really the three things. The downside of fitness, like, alcohol, partaking in the alcohol, that's one. Not getting enough sleep, that's two. And the binge eating, that's three. You know what I'm saying? Those was big three, real big. Those are three real big key components of why weight loss can be hard, especially when you're working a long shift. So well, lately what I've been doing, I'm working a long shift, which I don't like, but it is what it is. We're gonna be strong in the mind, and we're gonna put our best foot forward. But yeah, when you work, if to anybody that's working long shifts, have some water, sparkling water on deck. You know what I'm saying? Prioritize that fiber. You know what I'm saying? Prioritize that fiber and prioritize that protein, And so, today we started off the day right with fiber and the protein, and everything been good, So I feel full, because one thing about fiber keep you full. Protein keep you satisfied, to kill the hunger pains and stuff like that. So, I'm just coming to get some game. Like, people really don't be talking about whether you working a long shift at your job or not, like emotional eating, binge eating, that's a real thing. Things ain't going your way, life happen, you might want to hit the bottle, you know what I'm saying? You might want to grab a 12-pack of whole beer and be like, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, man, you not getting enough sleep, that's all this shit be real. You know, that's all the things I done dealt with throughout my life and throughout my fitness journey. Because like I said, man, if you gotta go to sleep, so all that staying up all night, man, forget all that. Forget all that staying up all night and watch a movie, Netflix, and chilling. Man, take your go to sleep, man. Go to sleep, bro. Especially if you working out. You know what I'm saying? You working out, you want to see that scale come down. Take your ass to sleep. You know, make sure you eating your make sure you eating your nutritional goals. Whether you eating more calories in a surplus to build muscle, and or you trying to lean out, you know what I'm saying, where you eating in a calorie deficit, you know what I'm saying. So, man, I hope this video be helpful for somebody, and till next time, peace.